Hi, my name is Brianna O'Shaughnessy, and this is my persuasive speech. Everyone has to take the test. Not the test, but the test. The one that determines what college you get into. Either the SAT or the ACT. You make a 30 or above, you're in. You're perfect. You are a star student. That's what they tell you every single time. You make a 15, 20 or above, you're in. You did good. Be prideful. But why? Why do colleges stress having that 30? Why do people buy 600 flashcards for one test that they have to take time and time again? Time again. Or why do they buy $30 books that only help you get so far? They don't guarantee you 800s in each section, and they don't guarantee you a 31 in each section. They don't guarantee anything. But you can fill out every single page in this book, or you can go through flashcard after flashcard and still not get it. Why do colleges stress standardized testing? And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I was talking with some friends earlier, and granted, I'm not the best test taker in the world. I struggle. Everyone struggles. But this friend of mine said her ACT score was 5 points higher than me, and when I told her that, her response was, "How? You're so much smarter than I am." And that's one way to knock someone's confidence, is by putting a number on their intelligence for a standardized test. 5 points. And then I was talking to another set of friends about my SAT score, and she said, I made this, and then I realized how much lower mine was. And I thought again, how am I supposed to get into my dream school with that? And recently I've started using apps such as EDU Star, and Administer, which are websites and apps that help students figure out which colleges are best for them. You enter in certain data about yourself, whether it's your actual test scores or your community service hours, your work hours, your extracurricular hours, and they pair your likelihood to get into that school. There were 4 colleges I entered, and I had a 95% chance or above. And then I entered my dream school, the one I could only hope to get for, the one that I've been working for since 7th grade, only an 83%. And most people see 83 and they're like, oh, that's not bad. I would love to have an 83% chance of getting into my dream school. But when you look at the finer statistics of the actual, I need this SAT score or this ACT score, why do colleges put that stress on it? And if you look at all of the material that you're given and how much even your teachers stress, you need to do better on your standardized testing. Why is that what defines what gets you into college? And I was looking at the website, and one of the websites, it's broken down into your percentages. If you have, say, like 95% or more, you're broken down into academic likelihood, non-academic likelihood, and a combination of the two. And for one school I was looking at, my academic likelihood, based solely on my test scores, because I apparently have some sort of weird test anxiety, was like non-existent. My entire likelihood of getting into that college was based on my community service hours, my work hours, my extracurricular activities, and what I do. I sit here and I spend hours filling this book out, erasing my answers, and redoing it. There are 10 tests in here, and in the course of 2 years, I did 6. 2 before every test I took. So I'd spend months, just like studying, reading helpful hints, and my score didn't get better. They always stress that after if you take it one time, you get your initial score, and you take take it a second time, and if your score doesn't go up, the likelihood of your score going up is none. So I am sitting here, and if I have a 75% chance of getting into a college based on my non-academic likelihood, what should this test score have any effect on that? Now, I'm not saying anyone can just walk in and be accepted into college, because, that's just, no. There has to be some level of standard. But to make a test where kids literally go into situations and they have anxiety, or their parents buy them certain pills to help them focus and to help them get the score they want to achieve, is an unfair advantage when other students don't have that opportunity. So why focus on the test score? Why focus on something that can be so altered by a pill, by one little pill? I heard a group of friends talking about how their ACT score went up several points because they took one pill. One pill that helped them focus. And it's one of those things that it happens, and people, their whole lives are based off of one test, whether they're admitted into their dream school or whether they're not, and whether that one pill helps them get in or whether it doesn't. Because you can study all you want, and you can study all the materials in the world. Like, these are only two of the things I have in my house. I have several books just to help me improve my scores, and it hasn't. I've taken the ACT 4 times, and it's gone up once out of those 4 times, and it's been consistent the rest of the time. And when you hear statistics like that, you get depressed, and your hopes of getting into college go down. My SAT, on the other hand, has continued to go up, which doesn't really make sense, but because they're not comparable tests. So why should schools because some schools only accept ACT, some schools only accept SAT, and some schools do a combination. But if my dream school were to say accept only the ACT, I would never be admitted, not even in a hope of having admitted, because my ACT score is poor, but my SAT score is decent and, average. And I look at this, and I have bookmarks, and I have tabs, dog-eared pages of material and flashcards that have been worn time again. Some of them are black, but I don't see how this one test should be what an entire college board of admissions admits a student off of. And related to this, there are several things that can go wrong with those students who do get admitted into their dream school based off of just their score. There's this television show called Where I Went Wrong or something like that, and it focuses on college-age students who made one mistake, and whether that one mistake was pills or studying or something along the way, you see how that their test score defined what college they got into. This kid got into his dream school of Columbia, and then found out he had ADHD. He went to the school's health center, and they did diagnose him, and they gave him that one pill, and he started dealing those pills in addition to taking those pills, and his GPA dropped. Now, did he have to deal those pills? No. But did he have to take those pills? The health center thought so. And that's where they define that one test. And that's where they get those scores and the calm and the focus. But those pills sometimes have side effects, and for this one particular student, it did. He ended up having anger issues. And when he tried to study and really actually focus when he took the medication, he became very angry, and when people walked up to him, he had paranoia. And these kids are using that same pill that he took for one test, for one 4-hour test. If it can do that to him, what's to say it won't happen to someone while they're taking the ACT or the SAT? they see something, and that nullifies the entire classroom of testing. Now, there are solutions to standardized testing. You could obviously put more pressure on classroom grades, but what's to say there aren't other problems that arise? I've seen kids cry over tests in many classes. That's one of the joys of high school. You see lots of students crying before AP history tests. I was one of those kids, because you have such that focus on you have to get the grade, you have to make that certain level to get into college. You have to, you have to, you have to. And the academic aspect of college has been so pushed, and so, like, the adaptation of standardized testing is constant. Like, you can't go more than 4 or 5 years without a test changing. Like, when my siblings were applying for college, a normal SAT score was a 1300. That was in the 90s. That wasn't that long ago. And then if they didn't even really have to worry about the ACT either. And so now you have the segregation of the tests, and the ACT being the main focus of schools, and the SEC, ooh, too many letters. And why is there that difference in a 1520 is a decent score at one school, but it's not the equivalent to a 22 on the ACT? Bless you. Or it is the equivalent, and you get in to that school, but it's not defined as a good school because of your grade. Why is it that test score that defines what you have to do?